today, as you can see, what I'm going to be talking about is fried chicken. This comes under different names. When you go to a restaurant, you often see something called Goujons or escalope or schnitzel. Basically, they're all the same thing. Goujons often refers to fish, but the other two are usually chicken. Now, the whole point of this recipe is that it's something you can do very quickly. So it is a restaurant dish, but it's also something which is wonderful just to do at home. You can make it earlier in the morning and then heat it up again just before you eat dinner in the evening, or you can serve it up 10 minutes after you make it. Now, I want to tell you about something a bit exciting, which is that I've been practicing a new way of making these videos so that I can speed up the actual process. The purpose of this isn't to deceive you and make you think that it's faster than it is. Of course, it will look faster, but the whole dish only takes about 5 minutes in all. I now would love you to get started. It's coming in a moment, and just before I go, I want to tell you that if you would like to, you can click the subscribe button, and that will enable you to get news of my next videos, or you can go on my website if you want to, The Armchair Kitchen. But whatever you do, I hope you like it, and here it is.
Here are the chicken breasts. There are 2 here, and I've cut them into strips. Now what you're going to do is you're going to dip them in 2 different things, and then you're going to fry them, and I'm going to show you how to do this. The first thing is some flour, and you sprinkle a little bit of salt over that, and the next one is matzo meal, or you can also use panko breadcrumbs. Start with 1 or 2 strips and dip them into the flour, turning them over very well so they're all covered. When you've done them, put them onto a plate. Carry on doing that until you've done them all, making sure that they're very well covered in the flour. Now take a beaten egg and add a little of an extra egg white if you have one, and whisk it up. What you're going to do next is you're going to dip the floured pieces into the egg and then into the matzo meal. Do a few at a time because you want to make sure that they are completely covered. Here I'm speeding up the process to show you just how you use them all up. The ones you've done, move them to one side and keep dipping the ones dipped in egg into the matzo meal. Give it a good shake at the end to make sure that they're all nicely covered. Now for the frying. Make sure that the oil is hot before you start. If you don't, it's not a good idea. They should sizzle when you put them in. Now here you can see that I'm laying each one carefully into the hot oil, and you can see it bubbling. The whole thing is going to take about 5 minutes. They need about 2 minutes each side, but check carefully after a little while just to see that the underside is getting slightly brown. Then begin to turn them over. Again, I've speeded this up a little bit because I don't want you to have to watch the whole cooking process, but it gives you an idea of what they're supposed to be looking like. When they're ready, you can begin to lift them out, draining them carefully onto some paper towels. Do this carefully to make sure there's not too much oil. And by this time the oil will be sizzling very hot and you'll be able to add more. Here's the finished fried chicken. Serve it with a squeeze of lemon. It's really good.